everybody, I'm Joey Evans.
And I'm Chris Yee.
And today we are taking a look at a Marvel game.
Yeah,
Surprise?
a Marvel board game. I'm so excited to play my first one.
I hope this becomes a trend. This one is actually damage control. And this one right here is pretty much about the people who clean up the damage after those epic superhero battles.
What a great setting for a game. It's kind of the opening of Spider-Man. You're welcome. Spider-Man, the one of those Spider-Man movies.
Yes. Yeah, Madam Web.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, all right.
And I thought, wait, what a great setting.
It's really good because I do wonder, like I watched Godzilla and I'm like, they knocked down so many buildings and people are like, we won. I'm like, did we? You know?
I think the Tokyo Tower has been knocked over almost more than any other building, like in cinematic history.
That makes sense.
They rebuild that sucker like every 3 years.
So it's a very interesting premise on a superhero game.
Yeah.
So before we get into what we thought about it, let's see a bit about, quickly, how it's played. Okay, we are set up for a game of damage control right now. And first off, this is, of course, like we mentioned before, cleaning up after a huge superhero battle. This is going to be the rubble pile here. These are the things you're cleaning up. This is set up for a 2-player game now. Again, I'm not going to go through all the rules. I just kind of want to give you a sense of how the game is played. Now, first off, everyone's going to get one of these desktop here, a vault, and your deck of cards. It's a deck building game. And you're also, luckily, going to get a reference card. It's 2-sided, so you can actually refer to that, which is very nice. So pretty much this is, you're going to deck build it, but you're also going to get points at the end of the game. And the game end is triggered when all these cards are gone, the rubble's gone, or the characters are all gone. So either one of those, and you're going to count up points. We'll go to that in a moment. And there's also some influence tokens here, which you're going to start off with your decks of cards, and an influence token, and your kind of desktop here. So pretty much I'm going to go quickly and do what all the actions are. Let's see, you've got your 4 cards. All right. And then right here, you've got a manager who has a different ability, and those are going to be asymmetric. And then you've got a lot of these guys have 2 different things they can do. Let's go into what each one is. So uncover. Uncover means you're going to take one of these rubble cards here and you're going to flip it face up. It has to be one that this entire circle is revealed. So let's go ahead and flip this up. Now, when you do that, up in the top right-hand corner, there's going to be an event. This event is a character sighting. A character sighting means you're going to add one more character over here to the row. So, because of that, there can only be 5 characters in the row. So, Maria Hill is going to go away. So, then go down, and one more character comes out just like that. So, then you're going to do that. So, then extract means you're going to take one of these cards and place it into your hand. You're going to extract it. Now, that's different. It doesn't go into your discard. It goes actually into your hand. So say I'm going to go ahead and grab this right here into my hand. All right? And then demolish. Demolish is you can choose one of these cards to just totally get rid of, and you're going to get 2 influence or 2 coins here. So say I don't want anyone to have this one. So I just get rid of that, and I take 2 and give them myself. All right, and then there are also artifacts. Artifacts are like what I just drew here. They usually have a cost on them, which the cost is right here, and they give you an ability here. So those are things you're going to pull from there. Now, one thing about uncover is, as you uncover, you're going to flip these over, and you're always going to do the event. That's another character sighting. But then a lot of these are like this one right here. This right here collapses when you're going to take another card from this rebel card, the rebel deck right here, turn it face up, and then you're going to drop it. Just like this, probably drop it more inside. But then you're going to look at that event and take a look. That right there says collapse again. So take another one face up and drop it, just like this. All right, and that just has a PIM symbol over here. And that means all players draw 1 card from their decks. Now these right here, you're going to play different modules. There's PIM, Vibranium, Mystical, and Asgard. And they're all going to do something different. So you're going to grab a couple of those modules and play. But we're playing with PIM right here. So up in the right-hand corner, it tells you what to do. And that's going to give some variability there. Then also you can do vault. You can vault your cards, and you can use some cards have a vault action like the manager does, or you can pay your influencer coins to go ahead and place a coin underneath here. Now you won't be able to use it anymore. It'll be out of your deck. However, it will score at the end of the game. Then now say I did do this on my turn. Say I went ahead and uncovered a couple times here, and then say I demolished, and finally I extracted just like this, and I could have used my artifact. So anyway, so there you go. I've used my cards, and now I get to recruit. So you look up here at all the heroes or the characters, and we see who I can get. See, I've got 2 uncovers. Then I can get Miss Marvel. I take Miss Marvel and I place her right here. All right, so I've used these 2. But then also take a look. I can also get Extract and Demolish. I could get Hercules if I wanted to. But then I decide, you know what? You can only have 3 across there. But you know what? I'll get Hercules, place him here. And you can only have 3 heroes across the bottom here. You can replace later, but you have 3. Now, each of these are going to have different abilities. Like, for instance, when they're activated, they can do something, or they have in-game, and some of them have ongoing abilities. So, there we go. So, I have recruited 2 heroes. And you're going to place these in your discard. You're going to go ahead and refill the character row. And then you're going to draw up to 4. I only have 2, so of course you're going to reshuffle your discards. And then you're going to draw 2 more. All right, and then it is the next person's turn. Okay, so like I said, the game is going to end when the destruction zone here is empty or the character deck is empty. And then you're going to go ahead and finish a round, and you're going to count up to see who has the most points. The points are taken from any cards you have in the vault. Also, your heroes that are out have points up here. Those could be variable as well. There are also different cards that give you in-game conditions, in-game scoring conditions. And you're also going to get 1 victory points per 3 influence you have rounded down. You're going to add up all those, and you're going to see who wins. And that's how to play Damage Control. So let's send it back and see what we thought about it. Okay, so that was quickly a quick overview about how the game is played. So first off, Chris, artwork style. What did you think about the artwork?
It's a little kiddie kind of looking, right? Mm-hmm. Which is fine because this is a very approachable game. And in terms of like a deck building game, this is definitely lighter. There's only a few actions to choose from, and very few, like a very small variety of special powers that cards can have.
Right.
So I think that the art style kind of matches market, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Right. This is not like people looking for like superheroes. Like, have
right.
fun superheroes.
And that's true. I mean, the artwork on it is fine. We saw a couple of superheroes that looked, I think it was Scarlet Witch and somebody else that were like really close together. Just
That's
changed
yeah.
hats and all this. It's like, okay.
It's Wooly Willy. Oh, he's a mustache. He's got thick eyebrows.
Yeah, it was like, okay, kind of phone that in a little bit. But the mechanic of dropping the cards, I thought was probably, I enjoyed that.
Okay.
That's...
And because it's the rubble pile, right? And
right.
So you can only flip over and like search for certain cards if they're not covered a certain area. So yeah, you might choose to drop a card to kind of cover up something that other players could go for.
Yes.
And it just adds to that kind of zany, silly theme.
It does. And then we be able to only flip if that part of that is showing and all that. So there's a lot that goes into that aspect of it. So now we've talked about some fairly neutral / positive things about it.
Have you exhausted your pool?
Pretty much. Let's go into that. One of the big pet peeves for me is the fact that it feels very multiplayer solitaire.
Yeah.
It's like there were times that it drug. Do you agree with that?
Oh my goodness, yes. Anytime that it wasn't my turn, I was like, wow. So much stuff is going to happen. This player has 4 cards to start with, and they're going to play all 4 of those out. But those actions can really cascade.
They really can.
Which in a lot of games feels good. Mm-hmm. But this one just manages to do it in a way where not only do your cards cascade, but I do an action that flips over a card, which says then you have to drop a new card into the market, and that or flip over another one. That might have another effect. And that's kind of cascading off of just one of your 4 cards.
That's the thing. Those events, as you flip them over, I mean, they could be drop another card. They could be pass a card to somebody else. They can get currency. You could remove a hero. And it's like, the only bright side of that is the fact that it shortens the game by running the hero deck out.
Yeah.
But it can take a while because you're sitting there, you're like, okay, yeah, keep going. And they do all their actions. And at the end, they need to recruit.
What's funny is I love in deck building games when, as you purchase a card, you get to add it immediately, right? A lot of deck building games,
like that.
It goes away, and then eventually you'll cycle through it, and you'll shuffle it, and it'll come back up. Some games allow you to purchase a card, goes right on top of your deck. I know I've got it for next turn.
Yep.
This one takes it a step further, which seems like it should be a positive. You rescue a card from the rubble, goes immediately into hand, usable this turn. But for the fact that turns already feel elongated. Watching you be able to play a card, flip over a card, a few cascading events. Okay, cool, I'm going to rescue one of those cards. I'm now going to play it. That lets me rescue 2 more cards. I know I'm just going to kind of be sitting there for a while watching you play.
And that's what I know technically this is a deck building game, but it barely felt like a deck building game to me. I don't know why, but it did. And then what's supposed to be the most rewarding part is getting those heroes didn't even grab me. The hero abilities were so, meh on most of them.
They're either worth no points,
right?
And the heroes are going to be about half of your points, I think. Well, not half, but they're going to be a good chunk of your points in this game. And to have one that's 0 points but has kind of a good ability, Iron Man gives you a +1 coin constantly. Well, that's nice, but you know that you're going to kick him out, probably on your second or third turn in order to get a better victory point hero.
I agree. And the other ones where you actually get to use their ability once per game.
Right. And
you would think, oh, okay, so this is like a game-changing ability. It is not.
It might be like draw a card.
Yeah, and it's very, that's okay. It's almost the equivalent of you're out there cleaning up and a superhero walks by and you're like, do you mind picking this up? And they pick up 1 stone and move it and they keep going. And you're like, you kind of made this.
Thanks, Thor.
I know.
What did you say? Nothing, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thor.
Go back in to have a shawarma or whatever it was. So that was it. And we played this with several player accounts. And I think if it works at all, I can't see playing it in more than 2.
Yeah.
Because you cannot. Also, one thing is if it takes a while on other people's turns, there's one thing you can kind of plan out your turn. Here you can't because everything changes so immensely from the rubble pile, different cards we take in and flip, nothing might be flipped. And then as far as being able to remove cards, how the person discard cards, because there were times it got to be my turn and I had 1 card.
Yep.
Because of the discard, I just had 1. And I'm like, well, this is fun.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that while it is zany, it's a very approachable game.
It is.
Right?
It is.
You could play this with young people because there's not a lot going on, but the game might also only be 3 turns long.
Right.
And so if someone is competent at really chaining together actions, they're gonna accomplish about a third of the game in 1 turn. And then someone who's just kind of like, I'll try some things. Woo! I got some money. That's my whole turn. You're just gonna steamroll over them.
I agree. And it was because the cascading is normally fun, but even when I'm doing the cascading, I'm almost bored.
It's a problem.
So that was all right. So all that, where do you come down on it?
Score-wise, I'm giving this one a 5. I wish I liked it, and I enjoy plenty of games that are lightweight and so simple and approachable, and I rate them both for how much I enjoy them, but for how good of a job they do at being the game they are. I rate King Domino possibly a 10. I think that game is phenomenal, and this one is a 5 because at what it's trying to accomplish, it still fumbles, unfortunately. It's a zany, kooky, funny game where you're dropping cards into the rubble pile. But also turns are going to be several minutes long per player, and you're going to have very few turns overall total. You're not going to be able to feel lots of moments of excitement. Like you said, when you're cascading and you're kind of like, oof, is my turn done yet myself?
Yes.
That's a bad sign for a game.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think you came in far too low. I'm coming in at 5.5.
Oh, okay.
But no, it was one of those things that you're happy when it's over. For me, I was just because even at the end, last game we played, I was I started putting my cards away, and you're like, we didn't count the points. I'm like, yeah, but we all kind of won because it's over, right? And there was just no enjoyable, there wasn't one mechanic I can point to. It was just meh. It was going through the motions.
But I'm not going to go lower, and some people will ask, why not go lower than that? I don't think the game is fundamentally broken. I don't think that there's anything that's that's detestable about it.
Right.
It is going to be a funny, kind of silly time, but I just derived almost no enjoyment from it. So
I agree.
It's a 5.5.
Yeah. So again, maybe your experience will be different, but this is a deck building style game, but this is damage control. So check it out or not, but now you know what you're getting into. Superheroes blowing stuff up and you clean up after them. And them not helping at all. So, that's
Thanks,
it.
Thor.
Yeah. I'm Joey Evans.
And I'm Chris Yee.
Let's go have a shawarma. Yeah. I'm Joey Evans.
And I'm Chris Yee.
Let's go have a shawarma.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Do it.
Let's go.
Go. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry.
Shawarma! Shawarma, 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 shawarma.